Hi, it's Jim Gray from Nimble Team, and I want to talk about the 5 jobs of an agent, part 2, the terror continues. All right, so just to pick up where we left off last time, right? What is the job of a real estate agent? Is the agent really in the job of buying and selling houses? No. The agent has 5 jobs. If you're a real estate agent, you don't know this, you have 5 jobs, which are lead generation, lead follow-up, appointments, contract negotiations, script practice, and role play. The way you monetize these 5 jobs is you buy and help people buy and sell houses. But make no mistake, these are your 5 jobs. Now, the place that you are going to live, the most dollar productive activities of even the 5 jobs are these: lead generation and lead follow-up. As a matter of fact, if you get great at generating leads and following up with leads, everything else takes care of itself. Everything else takes care of itself. So I want to just go over what is a lead. This is so critically important. I work with agents all over the country who are working with leads and prospects and customers. And when I interrogate that situation, what you find out is these people aren't leads at all. These people aren't prospects at all. These people aren't even customers. These are just people who like to ride around in your car looking at houses, or have you come out to their house and tell them what it's worth. And you happily do that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you'll likely go broke if that's how you approach this business. All right, so what is a lead? Well, a lead is a person. Let me stop there for a second. These are people, right? People have stories, people have pasts, people have dreams and hopes, people have pain, right? People have desires. And you, as the real estate agent, you as the real estate agent team owner, right, deal with people. So we can never lose sight of that. But this person, they have to have 2 characteristics. This is critical. Number 1, they have to have a big why. Why do they have to move? A baby is on the way, they need more space. Their last baby has just flown the coop and they don't need all this space. They just got divorced and they got to get rid of this house. They just got married and they want to buy a new house, right? There has to be a specific and concrete reason as to why they're going to move. Because you know, if you've done this at all for long enough to buy and sell a piece of real estate, it is a complex and involved transaction, and for a person to put themselves through it, they got to have a big why. But a big why, you guys, is not enough. It is not enough. You need a big why and a big when. So the question you're always asking once you get, hey, what's important to you about making a move? And they give you a long story, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. They have to move. Then the next question is, great. When would you like to be in your new home? And you have to listen very carefully to what they say next. If they say, oh, you know, when the perfect house appears, let me ask you something. Is there such thing as the perfect house? Okay, let's assume there is. What happens if that perfect house doesn't appear for 10 years? Is that okay? Do you want to show houses for 10 years? I don't. Okay? So a big why and a big when. So important, okay? So you will find that people have means to buy, and so they're able to buy. They have a reason to buy, but the thing that they may be fuzzier on is when. Well, you know, when I find the right house. Well, you know, in the next couple years. That's all fine. That may all be true, but if that's the case, they're not or you've got to be smart about how you allocate time to that person right now. You follow me? Okay. So once you have a lead, it's a person that you've determined. Here's a why and a when together, right? You do what we call rate the lead, or disposition the lead, right? Which is a big word. And we rate these leads by timing. You notice that? We rate them by timing, not by the big why, but by timing. And the way I recommend you do it is keep it simple. A simple system, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And you break them out by buyer and seller, right? And I like to keep things simple. If this person is a 10, What this means is they're taking action this month. They're going to either list their house with you this month, or they're going to write a purchase offer this month. If they're a 9, that means they're going to list with you next month or write a purchase offer next month. If they're an 8, that means they're going to take action within 60 to 90 days. If they're a 7, that means they're going to take action sometime this year. And if they're a 6, they're going to do something next year. Does that make sense? So it's very simple. It's either this month, next month, 60 to 90 days, this year, next year, simple. So you find out what their motivation is, you find out what their timing is, and then you assign a rating to it, and then based on the rating, you follow up appropriately. So to give you an example, if it's a buyer 10, then those folks are in their car with you. Or you're in their car with them, however you do it, but you're showing them houses actively. You might be showing 9s houses, but I can tell you this, you're not showing houses to 8s, you're not showing houses to 7s, and you are certainly not showing houses to 6s. You follow me? But what you are doing is, on a regular basis, you're following up. Now, in later videos, we're going to get to what should the follow-up cadence look like. But it is critical, friends, to make sure that your leads have a big why and a big when. If you just have a big why and no when, you don't got a lead. In fact, I would say this, if you've got a when, you probably have a lead, you just have to do some digging as to what's the why. Okay? So, I'm just going to run this back. Lead generation is the 2 most important of the 5 jobs. You get those right, everything else takes care of itself. The question is, what's a lead? This is a person with a big why and a big when to sell, but the more important of the 2 is the big when. And as the team leader, I'll leave you with this. When you have your one-on-ones with your agents, and you look at their pipeline, we call this the pipeline, right? And you ask them, how many 10s do you have? How many 9s? And they'll tell you, well, I've got 4 10s. Wow, great. So what you're saying is you've got 4 people that are all going to list with you this month, and they'll be like, nah, yeah. And then you look at the list. Well, this is Fred. Is Fred going to list? Well, I don't know. Well, then you change the number. Well, this is Mary. Is Mary going to list? Yeah, Mary's definitely going to list. Great. Then she stays on the list. Do you see how this helps you sort through your agent's future business? So incredibly important. All right. Hope you found that helpful. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you around.